Monday, July 16th, 2018, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. This morning I'm going to do an update on the Chinese yuan oil contract, how it's chipping away at the petrodollar, slowly but surely in my opinion. And is it any coincidence that the trade wars have escalated since March 26th? When the International Energy Exchange in Shanghai started trading on this contract. I don't think so. It's no coincidence. So I'll look at an article in a minute after I go through where the markets are this morning. I'm a little earlier today. It's 7:30 a.m. London. So let's see what we're doing. Spot gold right now is at 1243.60. Up about $2. The high has been 1245.80 and the low has been 1240. Silver is up 2 cents at 1582. Range has been 1567 to 1589. So we've been fairly low overnight in silver. But it's rebounded fairly well, it looks like. The Dow is up 38 points, just above 25,000. So it's up 0.1%. S&P is virtually unchanged at 2,802. The NASDAQ future is up 2 points, so very quiet as well. Not much going on there. And the currencies as well are fairly steady. Cable or sterling is unchanged, 132.36. Euro, 16, just below 117, up 10 pips. The euro, 116.97, and the dollar is up 10 pips against the yen, 112.43. So fairly quiet. In terms of the oil price, we're down about 1%. WTI is just below 70 at 69.40. So yeah, the petrodollar and the Chinese yuan oil contract. Yeah, I've covered this a lot. Of course, the Chinese started trading this contract on March 26th. As you can see here, it's trading regularly over 200,000 lots. Right now, the front month is September in the Chinese yuan oil contract. So that's an update on the exchange. For a futures contract, it has done really well. I worked in the futures market for over 20 years, so I know how some contracts, they die. They start out, there's no interest, no volume, but this contract has, of course, yeah, there's been a lot of interest in this contract. So there's a story out this morning via financialtribune.com. On Zero Hedge, it says de-dollarization. Chinese refiner replaces U.S. imports with Iranian crude. So basically, they're saying that the U.S. Is imposing tariffs on Chinese goods. So China is going to impose tariffs on U.S. crude that China imports. So I'll read a little bit about this article here. It says an independent Chinese refiner has suspended crude oil purchase from the United States and has now turned to Iran as one of its sources of crude. Media reports cited an official from the refiner Dongming Petrochemical Group as saying the source said Beijing is planning to slap tariffs on U.S. crude oil imports and replace them with West Africa and Middle Eastern crude, including crude from Iran. China has already said that it will not comply with U.S. sanctions against Iran, and it seems to be the only country for now in a position to do this. It says here, U.S. crude exports to China reached 400,000 barrels per day at the beginning of this month. But now Beijing is planning to impose a 25% tariff on these as part of its retaliation for Trump's latest rounds of tariffs on $34 billion worth of Chinese goods. The retaliation began with tariffs on 545 U.S. goods worth another $34 billion. But Reuters reports that oil tariffs will be announced at a later date. So there you have it. The trade war is driving China towards diversifying its imports of commodities, and oil is one of them. And you can bet that they will pay for these imports in yuan, and that a lot of these countries are going to use the Shanghai Exchange, International Energy Exchange, to trade or to settle a lot of the trade with China. It's not going to be done on the NYMEX anymore, and it's not going to be done in dollars anymore. So this is another example of how these trade wars are driving other countries to do business with China and in another currency. That's why it's called the petrodollar, because everyone was using the dollar to trade in oil. But now this is changing very quickly, and it makes sense as well with China's strategy of one belt, one road, not only in the Pacific, but in the Indian Ocean. That's the axis for the one belt, one road, of course. So yeah, I think this is quite interesting. This doesn't mean that the oil price will move or change or anything. I'm not talking about the oil price here. I'm talking more about the eventual competition from the Chinese yuan to the US dollar. Yeah, so that's the update I wanted to do on this. I also wanted to talk about EOS and an interesting exchange on the that's just opened. It's called Chaince, CHINCE. So chaince.com. I've opened an account there. You need to do the KYC with them. It's fairly quickly and simple. Basically, it allows you to trade some of the new tokens that have been airdropped by the onto the EOS blockchain. For example, you've got the IQ token here that you can trade already, and you've even got the Chaince token, CET, which I received some, and it's gone up a lot. It was trading below 0.01 EOS, and it's now 0.0352. I even did a bit of trading in that, and it made a huge move. So I think there's a lot of potential for this exchange. They're gonna start also listing other airdrops, as you can see here. They've only got IQ, which is Everipedia right now, and they've got CET, and you can also trade RAM. I'm not doing that, of course. You know, I'm not really sure what's going on with the RAM. I'm not an IT specialist, but as you can see, RAM is down a little bit now. So yeah, and you can trade the major currencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum on it as well. Or let's say if you go in and you buy IQ tokens and you make a profit in EOS, then you sell the IQ and you have extra EOS, right? And you can put that back in your wallet. I don't recommend people leaving anything on the exchange. I haven't. It's very quick, the transactions from this exchange to your EOS wallet. I'm using GrayMass at the moment. I've used Simple EOS before as well. But yeah, the transactions are really quick. So I recommend this exchange. Chaince.com. They're based out of Hong Kong. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can also follow me on Steemit, DTube, and on Twitter. And I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.